Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault Gaming video. Xvault here, and today I have some more information to go over with, and you guessed it, more Starfield. But this brings up a good point that I have to bring up, and this has to do with review sites, this has to do with review codes, this has to do with integrity and transparency and all that stuff here. So there's some shady things going on, once again, with Microsoft and Starfield, so we really need to talk about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was going through a lot of, social media sites and everything like that, it was brought up and it was made very apparent that we're looking at some issues here, some shady practices in my opinion, because no matter how you spin this, it's shady, let's be honest. It's not always out of the ordinary for certain review sites to maybe not get review codes or something like that if they've kind of been, blacklisted from the, industry or towards a certain company because some favorable things were not said, or maybe they're just being a little out of touch and being a little too not truthful themselves. But bringing this up, we're talking about Metro UK. They are basically kind of a news outlet in the UK, of course, and they're not seemingly 100%, gaming all the time. They cover just about everything. And yes, do they probably lean towards and gear towards PlayStation? Sure, but it's not to the fact of a lot of people are bringing up Steviver, and this is another website, review site that's very, very shady, by the way, that has been blacklisted by Sony because every single first-party game that comes out that is, let's be honest, masterpieces, whether, objectively speaking or not, that's just, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden, all of them, right? Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, Ghost of Tsushima, stuff like that. Last of Us Part 2. I mean, these guys will dump these games so far down, and out of left field, they'll just, mark it super bad for the most insane or ridiculous reasons. So, of course, you're going to get, blacklisted, but for everybody else, it seems odd. But let's take an example. I'm going to read from, the Metro UK portion here. Now, it's not just Metro UK that has not received a Starfield, by the way, review code copy here. Multiple outlets have done this. So, as you can see with what I posted up on here and what Metro recently said, they're not the only ones. However, going further, they state publishers withholding review copies before launch is not unusual, just as it's not unheard of for film companies not to show a movie in advance for critics. But there's usually only one thing that means, and everyone, including reviewers and the general public, know it: the game or film is no good. Despite us having been in contact with Bethesda for several weeks, we do not have a review copy yet and have only been promised one at the end of the month. We now suspect that will not be until, Thursday, August 31st, as we understand the general review embargo is on Thursday at 5 p.m. BST for them. What makes the situation strange, though, is that most US sites do seem to have review copies, and it is specifically the UK that has been denied them. No explanation has been given as to why. And just a quick little insert here is there are actually some content creators over in the UK and other outlets that have received some review codes, so, that's also wonky. Eurogamer is in the same position as us and likely every other UK website that does not have a US arm or affiliate. We aren't certain how widespread the issue was until Eurogamer posted on the news of their website, and in doing so it became clear just how oddly Bethesda is behaving. Update: The Guardian and Edge haven't been sent copies either. Bethesda has always been peculiar with regards to reviews and went through a period around 7 years ago where they refused to send out review copies to anyone until a day before the game's release. There has never been any proper explanation for that either, although it has assumed that they simply wanted to avoid the possibility of negative reviews before a game's launch. Again, they say possibility because that's the truth. They eventually realized that this was counterproductive and went back to acting normally, but since Bethesda execs have been at the company for decades, it's clear that many resent the idea of allowing advanced reviews and still want to disrupt the practice. Why they picked on the non-US sites is unclear, though. Neither nor any other publisher we're ever dealt with has ever been that weirdly selective. What makes this situation even stranger is that this has nothing to do with Microsoft, and reading between the lines, they seem to be just as frustrated as reviewers, not least because they also do not have the access to review copies. The situation may be different in terms of Microsoft's US office, but that doesn't help anyone in the UK. Despite all of this, we don't necessarily think of any of this because it is Starfield is bad. Although the truth is we've seen nothing more of the game than you have, as there's been almost no hands-on previews anywhere in the world. However, the majority of the games Bethesda has and was withholding back in 2016 were very good. Indeed, Bethesda's track record in terms of quality games is very high, so why they should be so insecure about reviews is a mystery. They do have a consistent problem with bugs and performance issues, but if that's true of Starfield, it will become obvious the second the game is released, so preventing reviews from talking about it isn't going to help anyone. Starfield is due to launch on September 6th for Xbox Series X and S, but if you pay for one of the more expensive collector's editions, you can get early access on September 1st. That's why the embargo is on Thursday and why we don't expect to get a copy before that. So, me going through that as quickly as possible for y'all. Like I said, I don't think this is on Microsoft's part, but maybe more of a Bethesda decision. But it is interesting how selective they have been. They always kind of have been selective. And it is really weird. There's not a lot of early hands-on previews, not even through the tutorial piece, not even through gameplay segments set up, which is what some of the booths would do with big AAA games that had a lot of hype behind them. That's essentially what you would see and find. So it is really shady. And again, if there are bugs, I heard through the grapevine, through second-party sources, that the bugs aren't really all that bad. So why withholding? I'm not sure. There's got to be a piece missing here. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know. Again, transparency. Like I said in my last video, transparency is key. Just be honest and upfront with your games, and your consumers and fans and everybody of the like is going to be okay with that. The more transparent and honest you are with that feedback and that criticism of your own game, if there even is any, the more respect you're going to garner from the industry and the fans and so on and so on. I just find it super weird. But, Bethesda is Bethesda. They do their thing sometimes, so who knows what will happen. All I know is in a few very short days, at the time of this recording especially, is that you're going to get that embargo lifted, and we'll see what happens. We'll see kind of what goes on there. But again, as with most reviewers, you do have to take each content creator or review site with a grain of salt because there is biased tendencies there, is what I'm trying to say. And it's hard, and what's horrible is you can get a content creator, just like I'm preferred on PlayStation. That's obviously not even a given. But that doesn't mean I'm a blind fanboy and I'm going to sit there and review bomb a game or that's not on PlayStation, or I'm going to sit there and badmouth a game because of that. I know I talk a lot about Xbox because I'm bringing up points, but I'm not going to badmouth a game without facts to back that up. And it's not to badmouth them, it's to share those facts. Everything that I do state is 100% factual. That I do mention. I will not go outside of that box, so to speak, if I don't know what I'm talking about or I don't have some sort of factual piece of literature or articles or anything to back that up. So again, just even with me, and it's not me hating on Starfield or anybody else hating on Starfield, I think it's still going to be a really good game. I don't think there should be any fear of that. I just find that this shady practice is really odd. And again, that transparency is key, just like I just mentioned. I'll say it again because some folks like to hang on to the bad things being said, but transparency is key. You got to garner that relationship with your consumers and fans, and you're going to get that respect and loyalty in return. So just doing that's going to go a long, long ways. Again, I expect this game to review pretty well. I would say if we're taking Metacritic, for example, 86 is what I would garner this to get a score in with everything that I've been hearing. And again, I can't share certain things. I can't share other conversations I've had with folks that have had their hands on this copy, because again, I'm not going to sit there and make that assumption because I don't have that review copy in my hands. I've only viewed certain footage. And again, I've been in conversation with those that have had this copy review code of Starfield in their hands for a couple weeks now. And they put in some time, but again, I'm not going to go into detail there. That's neither here nor there. But from what I understand, it does align with what I was thinking all along, that this would probably hit around an 86, which is a phenomenal game. 86 is like an 8.6 out of 5, essentially, is how you would convert that. And I think that's just a really solid game. Do I think it's genre defining? Do I think it's going to change the game or create that hype for someone to join Game Pass or something like that? Not necessarily, but that doesn't mean it has to. I don't know the future of that at this point in time, and that's for another video anyways, for more subscription services. But yeah, I think it's still going to be really solid and worth a shot. And if you do have Game Pass, why would you not play it, of course, and enjoy your time with it? But again, I just don't think it's going to rock the industry and be like, this is the precedence, right? Like Baldur's Gate 3 did, like, hey, they did so well on this game that we're going to go ahead and that needs to be an industry standard for all those RPG or CRPG fans out there or games. Take note and really take that as an inspiration to create your own thing, but just that quality there and what you need to bring to it, because from rumblings and everything else, and again, I don't have my hands on Baldur's Gate 3 yet at this time, that is a very, very strong potential for Game of the Year winner, not even just contender, but winner for the entire year. And we've had some amazing games this year, you know, with Starfield coming out. We've had Tears of the Kingdom from the Switch. We've had multiple other games. We still have Spider-Man 2 coming out. There's just been some just really great games. Sea of Stars just released recently, and that is getting crazy good reviews for an indie /RPG / all this stuff. Really solid. Can't wait to get my hands to try that out once I have a moment. But that being said, it's just a lot of things to think about, folks. So hopefully we can figure out why they're not getting review codes, and hopefully some of those reviews out there, like I said, aren't super biased. Even if I had my review code and received one from Starfield and was playing that on the PC or Xbox, whatever they wanted to give for that, I'm not going to sit there and dog it for no reason after that embargo lifted. If it was a great game, I'm not going to do that. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not that serious, you know. It's what's serious is speaking the facts, speaking the mind, and holding any company, whether it's Sony, Nintendo, or Xbox, Microsoft, accountable for giving the consumers and the industry what's needed. That's the truth of the matter, and that's what I will always bring to the table. And if, whether it be Nintendo or Sony as well that starts faltering and dropping the ball, I will be there to call out the facts regardless of what kind of a fan you are. So that being said, we'll wrap it up there. I appreciate you listening to that. Hopefully that shed some light on there or brought this up for you that don't know what's going on with the review codes and stuff like that. So I do find it odd, like I said, not going to major certified sites and stuff like that, but we're going to go to more Xbox-centric content creators mainly for the majority of those codes and hoping for the best. So just kind of a lot to think about, really, and divulge that what you will, but we'll see. Like I said, that embargo lifts very soon, and we'll see what's going on with this. And like I said, I expect it. 86 Metacritic, solid game. Hopefully that'll be the end of it, and we can move forward without any more other items I have to bring up, but we'll see. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. I really appreciate it. All the support. We are, at this time of recording, 667 subscribers out of 1,000. Thank you so much. You guys are so phenomenal. We're going to hit that 1,000 goal sub as soon as possible, I'm sure, because of your guys' help. No doubt in my mind. So I appreciate that and all the support you guys do, the interactions, the comments, any other social media stuff. Thank you so much. And leave a like down below, comments. If you stop by frequently enough, or this is your first time, you like what you see, definitely consider subscribing and helping out a small content creator like myself. So thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and we will see you next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.